Hi everyone, my name is Erica, and this is my story. But be aware, every inch of this story is fictional, and it's written by A.D. Eon. The serene town of Orismead, nestled in the heart of Illyria, was a haven of tranquility and power. Bathed in the ethereal glow of aurora hues at night, it was a sight to behold. Its inhabitants, a blend of sorcerers, seers, mages, swordmanships, and womanships, known collectively as clippers, lived in harmony. Orismead is the peace-hold that protects Illyria, which made it impeccable for any threats. I, valiant Erica, captain of the female clippers, had always taken pride in maintaining the town's peace as one of the mages. But that tranquility was shattered by an ominous event. A crimson moon, a celestial anomaly never before seen in Orismead, rose from the northern horizon. Panic spread among the townspeople as we witnessed the unnatural phenomenon. I and the regent, the leader of the male clippers, were summoned to the high court. The elders, composed of sorcerers, seers, and other influential figures, convened to discuss the impending threat. A seer, her eyes filled with tears, revealed that a sinister force was approaching, its power so great that it obscured her vision. The sorcerers confirmed the dire implications of the red moon, a harbinger of doom. The king, his voice heavy with concern, entrusted the regent and I with the task of defending the town. We were to scout the surrounding forests and prepare for a siege, while the sorcerers would erect an enchantment barrier to provide additional protection. With the town gripped by unease, I led my fellow clippers, ventured into the forest of Mirador, a sanctuary for the Fae, while the regent and his clippers were to stay back to defend the town from any imminent danger. The forest, usually teeming with life, was eerily silent. The Fae, known for their vibrant presence, were nowhere to be found. A sense of unease crept over me as I searched for Iridessa, the Fae Queen. As I called out for Iridessa, my voice echoed through the desolate woods. Desperation gnawed at me as I realized something was terribly wrong. The elder, an ancient enchanted tree, spoke to me in a hushed whisper. The crimson moon brought a creature of darkness, the elder revealed. It broke the enchantment that protected our forest. The Fae, they are gone. Tears welled up in my eyes as I imagined the fate of my beloved friends. The elder warned me that the creature was dangerous and capable of changing forms. It had headed north, following the crimson moon. With a newfound determination, I rallied my clippers. The fate of Orismead rested on our shoulders. We had to confront the darkness that had descended upon our peaceful town. As we ventured towards the north, outsketch of Mirador, into the Elvenden forest, a chilling whisper, more akin to a banshee's wail, echoed through the ancient trees. My heart pounded in my chest as I signaled the clippers to fan out, their blades glinting ominously in the crimson light. The creatures we encountered were unlike anything I had ever seen, differing even from stories. It was the Decuro, the infamous starving skeleton army. These skeletal demons, once thought to be mere myths, were now a terrifying reality. Their eyes burning with an unnatural hunger, their skeletal forms, etched with the scars of countless battles, seemed to shimmer under the crimson moon. Fear gnawed at me, but I knew we had no choice. Orismead was at stake. Drawing on the knowledge I had gleaned from ancient texts, I devised a strategy. I ordered the clippers to activate their enchantment shields, a shimmering barrier that would protect them from the Decuro's attacks. As the undead army marched forward, they paused, their skeletal forms frozen in place, their progress halted by our enchantment. But this respite was fleeting. The Decuro, their eyes burning with an unnatural intensity, began to pound against the barrier. I knew we had to act quickly. I signaled the clippers to prepare for a frontal assault, their weapons gripped tightly in their hands. The Decuro rammed into our barrier, their bony fists pounding against it. The ground trembled beneath our feet as the barrier strained under the immense pressure. Now, I yelled, "Charge!" We burst through the weakened barrier, our swords raised high, and brutal melee ensued. The Dakuro met us with a deafening roar, their skeletal forms twisting and contorting in a frenzy. "Focus on their cores," I shouted. "Bash through their bones and strike at their hearts." The battle raged. The air was thick with the clash of steel and bone. Our magic shimmered and danced, clashing with the dark energy that pulsed through the Dakuro. Some of my bravest clippers fell, their spirits consumed by the relentless onslaught. Rage fueled me as I watched my friends perish. I shouted out a new strategy: focus on their hands. Clamp them together, then slam them down with all your might. It will disorient them. We followed my lead, our combined strength forcing the Dakuro back. But the battle was far from over. The Dakuro launched a series of attacks, each more terrifying than the last. "Watch out," I cried, dodging a powerful swing. Soon, the Dakuro's movements were disrupted, their powerful attacks slowed. We seized the opportunity, leaping onto their backs and ready to strike. "Second attack," I cried. "Swing their arms in 3 consecutive swings. Jump the first, stand your ground for the second, and jump again for the third." I shouted orders to the clippers, guiding them through the intricate dance of combat. We dodged their attacks, our blades finding gaps in its defenses. Finally, we found an opening. Then I quickly devised to a more decisive strategy: final attack. When they expose their cores, I shouted, strike with everything you've got. Enchant your swords and unleash a powerful slash at their cores. It will repel the core back into their bodies, weakening them. With renewed vigor, we fought on. The Dakuro's screams echoed through the forest as their cores were struck and repelled. With a synchronized strike, I and the clippers unleashed a devastating blow, shattering each Dakuro's core. As the undead creature's form began to disintegrate, we collected its soul, a shimmering orb of dark energy. The battle was over. We had defeated the Dakuro army, but the cost had been high. Several of my fellow clippers had fallen in the fight. We buried them with the respect they deserved, their sacrifice ensuring the safety of Orosmead. The crimson moon hung heavy in the sky, casting an eerie glow over the ancient forest of Elvendon. Its blood-red hue painted the towering trees in haunting shades of crimson and gold, transforming the once serene forest into a scene of otherworldly dread. As I ventured deeper into the heart of Elvendon, I encountered its ethereal inhabitants, the elves. These graceful beings, with their slender forms, pointed ears, and flowing hair, moved through the forest with a silent grace, their footsteps barely disturbing the fallen leaves. Their eyes, twin emeralds in the moonlight, held a wisdom that seemed to span centuries. Suddenly, a sharp whooshing sound pierced the air. An arrow, swift and deadly, flew towards me, its trajectory a blur against the crimson sky. I reacted instinctively, my enhanced senses and reflexes allowing me to intercept the missile with ease. As I caught the arrow, I turned to see the source of the attack: Luthien, a beautiful elven maiden, her bow and quiver slung across her back. "Hey, Valiant," she greeted me with a warm smile. "Always as quick as a flash. I see you've been battling the Dakuro. I could feel the dark energy lingering about you." She paused, her eyes twinkling with amusement. "Come, Elphas has been expecting you." Luthien led me through the forest, her steps light and effortless. The crimson moon illuminated her path, casting an ethereal glow upon her form. As we approached the elven sanctuary, a sense of awe washed over me. The ancient trees, gnarled and twisted, seemed to whisper secrets of ages past. We entered the sanctuary, a circular clearing bathed in the soft glow of bioluminescent fungi. At the center, a group of elves, their faces etched with wisdom and power, awaited our arrival. Elphas, the elven king, stood tall, his gaze fixed upon me. "We knew you would come, Valiant," he began, his voice a low rumble. "For such a disturbance has shaken the very foundations of our peaceful realm. We may be distant, but we are bound by the threads of Illyria. Such darkness must not be allowed to spread." "I've come to seek your wisdom, Elphas," I replied, my voice filled with determination. The seers have been unable to decipher the cause of this crimson moon, but we know it heralds a great evil. Elphas nodded gravely. The creature responsible is known as the lunar tyrant, a primordial entity born from the moon's dark side. It is a being of immense power, capable of manipulating reality and summoning dark forces. It seeks to dominate Illyria, and Orismead is its ultimate prize. Why Orismead? I asked, perplexed. What makes it so special? Orismead is the heart of Illyria, a place of immense power and ancient magic. The lunar tyrant seeks to harness this power for its own nefarious purposes. It has already corrupted countless worlds, and now it sets its sights on ours, Elphas explained. And what of the other creatures of darkness that have emerged? I inquired. Are they under the tyrant's control? The crimson moon has awakened dark forces from the depths of the abyss. These creatures, drawn to the moon's malevolent energy, serve the tyrant's dark purpose. But it is the tyrant itself that poses the greatest threat, Elphas warned. We must stop it, I declared, my voice resolute. We must protect Illyria and defeat the lunar tyrant. The ancient elves exchanged knowing glances. We know, child. Which is why we've been awaiting your visit. One of them spoke, his voice ancient and wise. You alone possess the strength, the skill, and the heart to confront the darkness. But the path ahead is fraught with danger. The price of victory may be great. Elphas nodded, his expression somber. That's right, Erica. You alone is the capable mage for this mission. But, be warned, Valiant. The lunar tyrant is a formidable foe. It will test you to your limits. And if you are to succeed, the price might be grave. I met Elphas' gaze, my determination unwavering, as I let out a soft smile. Whatever the price, Lord Elphas, I would pay it gladly, I declared. So far it would save Illyria. I was taken to the elven herbalist, a revered figure known as the Great One. He crafted potent potions to aid in our fight against the lunar tyrant and his minions. These included restorative potions to replenish our strength and, more critically, potions to weaken the dark forces. However, the latter were to be used sparingly, as they would leave us vulnerable for a time. In addition to these potions, the Great One bestowed upon me a celestial sword, a weapon of immense power. This sword, he said, is a gift from the heavens, a tool to aid you in your quest. But remember, with great power comes great responsibility. The sword will reveal its true power only to the worthy. Grateful for the knowledge and gifts bestowed upon me, I prepared to depart. But the elves, ever generous, provided me with 3 of their finest warriors, including my friend Luthien, who had volunteered to join me on this perilous journey. As we ventured north, we faced countless trials, battling insidious creatures and enduring countless losses. The toll was heavy, and my heart ached with each fallen comrade. Yet I persevered, driven by a solemn vow to protect the innocent and restore balance to the world, no matter the cost. After days of relentless struggle, we finally reached the lunar tyrant's ominous abode. A chilling silence hung over the desolate landscape, broken only by the eerie glow of the crimson moon. The towering obsidian structure, a symbol of darkness and despair, loomed before us. As we approached, we could hear the faint, haunting chant of the tyrant's minions. The air was thick with the scent of decay, and the walls of the labyrinthine structure were adorned with grotesque symbols. I told Luthien and the rest we had to rescue the captives, for I could felt their fear and desperation palpable. As we crept through the dark corridors, I pressed my ear against the wall, and I could sense Iridessa's presence. Bursting through a door, we found ourselves in a dimly lit prison chamber, filled with rows of iron cages. The captives, chained and bound, looked gaunt and despairing. Looking up, I saw Iridessa and the rest of her fays, locked in an enchanted cage, her spirit unbroken. I signaled the rest, and as we moved to free the captives, a horde of dark creatures swarmed the chamber. The battle was fierce, and the fate of the world hung in the balance. The chamber was a moor of darkness, punctuated by the flickering light of our blades. As dark entities poured in, we fought back, a desperate dance of steel and magic. The battle raged, an eternity compressed into moments. When the last creature fell, we turned to the task of freeing the captives. I focused my power on the enchantment binding the Fae, unraveling the spell with a surge of energy. The captives, both Fae and human, were released, their faces etched with relief and fear. "Get them to safety," I ordered the Clippers, urging Luthien and the other elf to join them. "Iridessa, you too. This is my fight." Iridessa was so reluctant to leave. "This is my duty as well," she insisted. "I can't lose you too," I pleaded. "I've lose enough of my friends, the weight of loss heavy on my heart." But Luthien and several Clippers echoed Iridessa's sentiment. "We believe in you, Valiant," one of them said. "This is our fight too." In the end, we sent 5 Clippers and the other elf to escort the captives to safety. The rest of us, Iridessa, Luthien, and the remaining Clippers, delved deeper into the darkness. We reached the heart of the abode, a cavernous chamber cloaked in oppressive shadow. At its center stood the lunar tyrant, a monstrous figure turned away from us. "So you've arrived, mage," he rumbled, his voice echoing through the chamber as he turned to face us. "Have you come to stop me?" he asked, a sinister glint in his red eyes. "Don't be fooled. I wield the power of the red moon. I expected more from you, or perhaps my forces have weakened you," he taunted, his laughter echoing through the chamber. "Your reign of terror ends today, lunar tyrant," I declared, drawing the celestial sword. "Oh, I prefer the title Crimson Moon Lord," he corrected, his voice laced with arrogance. "But yes, an end is coming. Just not mine. It's Orismede's." Luthien gasped, her eyes flickering, as she had a vision. "You've manipulated the weather. Illyria is under attack, a battlefield drenched in blood." Rage surged through me. "Your end will bring an end to your chaos, and I will be the one to deliver it. A powerful mage, perhaps, but no match for me," the lunar tyrant roared. Suddenly, a horde of monstrous creatures erupted from the ground, surrounding us. We formed a defensive circle, our blades raised. "Run while you still can," I told the lunar tyrant. "Your end is coming." The Crimson Moon Lord cackled with sinister satisfaction as he watched us battle his relentless forces. Luthien, her voice strained from exertion, shouted, "Use the potion, Erica. We can't hold them off forever." I quickly retrieved the potion from my pouch and dispersed it into the air. The creatures howled in agony as their attacks slowed. We seized the opportunity, striking with silver arrows, holy relics, and other potent weapons. I fell back, weakened from the potion's use, after delivering the final blow to a creature. Luthien caught me as dizziness overcame me. The lunar tyrant, sensing our vulnerability, rose and summoned a new wave of, albeit lesser, creatures. I drew upon my strength, whispering an incantation that coursed energy through my body. I lunged at the tyrant, but he countered with a powerful elemental attack. I dodged most of the assault, but a massive stone struck me, sending me crashing into the wall. I screamed in pain but quickly regained my footing. The tyrant unleashed another wave of dark energy, but I gracefully evaded it, my blade slicing through the ethereal tendrils. Suddenly, my blade emitted a celestial glow, and ancient inscriptions appeared. A blinding light and deafening sound erupted, temporarily stunning the tyrant. The inscriptions read, "In hoc signo vinces, in this sign thou shalt conquer." The battle raged on, a whirlwind of steel and shadow. The tyrant's attacks grew more ferocious, but I fought with unwavering determination. The inscriptions on my blade seemed to enhance my abilities, allowing me to move with incredible speed and precision. However, the tyrant's power was overwhelming. A devastating blow sent me flying, landed hard, leaving me breathless and injured. I struggled to rise, but the tyrant advanced. Luthien, Iridessa, and my remaining loyal Clippers intervened, their bodies battered and bruised, after defeating his minions. They fought valiantly, launching powerful enchantments, but the tyrant's resistance was formidable. Luthien launched a particularly potent attack, causing the tyrant to groan in pain. Iridessa followed with another, further weakening him. Enraged, the tyrant struck Luthien, sending her crashing to the ground. Summoning my remaining strength, I counterattacked the tyrant. A fierce duel ensued, but my weakness was evident. The tyrant seized the opportunity, delivering a final devastating blow. I was sent flying, coughing up blood and barely conscious. The tyrant approached, his blade raised high. "You are weak. You are no match for me," he sneered. As the tyrant prepared to deliver the killing blow, I channeled the last of my strength. My sword glowed with a blinding light, imbued with the moon's energy. With a desperate cry, I lunged at the tyrant, our blades clashing. A blinding flash of light and a deafening roar filled the air. The tyrant staggered back, his form flickering and fading. I stood panting, my sword held high. I had defeated him, but victory came at a terrible cost. As I looked up at the moon, I realized the extent of my injuries. The tyrant's dark energy coursed through my veins, slowly consuming me. I knew my fate was sealed. Luthien, Iridessa, and the remaining clippers rushed to my side, their faces etched with sorrow. Luthien attempted to heal me, but her efforts were futile. "It's okay," I whispered, a peaceful smile on my lips. "I fulfilled my duty. Thank you, all of you." I turned to Luthien, her eyes filled with tears. "What do you see?" I asked, struggling to breathe. She smiled, tears streaming down her face. "His reign is over. You saved us all, Erica. You saved Illyria," she declared. I looked at the faces of my companions, their eyes filled with sorrow and gratitude. "We did it together," I said, a tear rolling down my cheek. "I'll finally see my family. I missed them so much." As the crimson moon began to fade, I closed my eyes, a serene smile on my lips. I had saved the world, and that was all that mattered.
Kindly like and subscribe.